Onionhead Andrew.
Go ahead, Andrew.
Okay, hey, really sorry about that. You guys, everyone knows how that goes. There's such a pain, though. Either way, I'm lucky we have this second laptop. Okay, so here is the simple box fan right here. This is one that works great. You can buy these $20 anywhere. They're pretty powerful as far as the actual fan goes itself. So the first step for this is taking off the cover. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know, like 7, 8 screws in here. So everybody's got their material. Who doesn't? How does that work? Does anybody not have their material or the capacity?
Well, we know. Okay, so we know Liliana is waiting for the guy with her material. Everybody else should have theirs. If you don't have it, then you should watch carefully, and Andrew will leave you with an instructional video. Great. So that you can follow along with it. But if you do have it, this is a good time to just do it right along with him so that you'll have it done by the time the workshop is done. So by 5 o'clock, you'll have a fan that you can put up. And, I mean, to me, that is the objective.
Oh, and I wanted to add that, Andrew, it's called a Lasco Airflex 2-1, and you can add a filter to it. So you can add an extra component, and I don't know if that's what you already did, because you were talking about you added another component to this fan.
Oh, no, I was talking, I'll show you guys at the end what I'm currently working on.
Okay.
I've been messing with these spinning copper, twisted copper for a long time now. Once you realize that this is the easiest, most effective scalar wave generator or negative ion generator or chemtrail buster, whatever you want to call it, then you'll start messing around with this too. It really is that powerful. I mean, I've got a $20 Lasco fan in front of me, or $25 Lasco fan, and I don't know however much of the copper that's in here. You know, this is just housing wire. We're going to strip. This is the next step, is we open this up and we strip it all, get ready for the drill. And then the tools I already had. So, I mean, you're looking at $35 for something that, if you were to buy retail, would work 1/50th as good as this, 15th, 50th, something like that, and cost you $600. That's those Dyson air blades. That's what those Dyson air blades do. You guys might have seen that. They create negative ion.
If you want to add a filter to it, and then whatever Andrew's got, because I thought this was a pretty neat idea that it comes with.
I don't want to interrupt, but let's focus on what we're doing right now. We'll talk about the filter later.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. I forgot to say it, but when you start messing around with this, by all means. I have tried filters before. What I find is that the fan motor, it's a little bit too much work on it, and you'll burn out the fan quicker. But that's not to say that there's not something there. I just didn't figure it out. I found what I was doing to be more effective. But
and I thought that same thing too, Andrew. That it's more work on it because it's sucking more through the filter.
Yeah. Okay, so I got the front off, and this is the fan exposed. So that's where we want our fan to be right now. Now we're going to set that aside, and then we're going to get to the wire right here. Now, I have this housing conduit. That's what that's called. But if you have already pre-stripped wire, that's even better. I have that too. But I figure I'll save that so that we can all do this together. Okay, I just took a regular knife, okay, and I'm going to do this carefully. You cut the outer insulation. Okay. Just cut the outer insulation. And you can just rip it off. It's pretty intuitive, this phase of it.
Do you have to use a certain gauge? Does it matter?
It's the bigger gauge, the solid copper wire is better, but at some point you move into centrifugal inertial forces ripping it apart. So basically, the more weight, the more faster it spins, the more issues you're going to have keeping it on the fan blade.
I gotcha. Exactly.
It's pretty intuitive after your first time doing it. So all I'm doing right now is cutting the insulation off the first layer. And all we need is about 4 feet of 2 strands, or you get 8 feet of 1 strand and you cut it in half, because we're going to need 2 strands to put into the drill. That'll make sense too once you see it. Does anyone have any questions?
No, you can just get a reel of copper wire, right, too. I mean, depending on the gauge.
Yeah.
Half the strip.
Yeah, I get this.
That's probably less expensive. Is it less expensive? That house?
No,
wire?
this is. Yes, exactly. This is actually more expensive.
Okay.
But this is grounding wire, and I think it's 12 or 14 gauge. This is probably the best for it, because you don't have to strip it. But this you can buy anywhere. You literally can buy this at any hardware store, pretty much any of the time. And actually, you'll see my shirt right now. It's kind of buffed up a little bit, pumped up a little bit, whatever. It's because I've got a brace of this twisted copper wire on underneath. That helps deionize your body too, or basically just keep the directed energy weapons. That's what they're doing. They're magnetizing the particles in your body, whether that's nanoparticulate that you're breathing, or eating, or drinking, or it's the nano machinery from the chemtrails. But that's how all of this works. I don't know how many people are familiar with OnionheadAndrew, the Rumble channel, which is also me, obviously.
Okay. If you could show us at the end what you got on you at the end, so that way we can see what it is.
Yeah, it'll make sense. You don't even need to particularly see me with my shirt off. You'll see the twisted. Yeah, exactly. You'll see the twisted.
You have a piece of something. Is this a circular piece of copper? Is that what it is?
No, it's going to be twisted, and you'll see. It'll all make sense in a second.
Okay.
It's just I'm just who is at what place? How about everybody turn their mics on, or that wants to talk, and we talk about where everyone's at, so I know what speed to move this along at.
Okay.
Is anybody doing it?
That's a good point. Is there anybody that is actually doing it right now? Because that would be, he would really speak to you. And I'm just from my teacher thing, I'm really keen on distractions, because I want, it interferes with learning. So if we're going to learn how to do this, if we're going to learn how to do this together, let's stay focused on what is being done. And if there's somebody who's actually doing it, you guys are the ones that we really should be speaking to right now.
And you made one already, right, Koji? You made one already?
I did. Mm-hmm. I made one for my ceiling fan, but right now, I know I'm going to lag behind, but I'm going to be doing one for just a little fan I have.
Sorry, the fastest way to strip this wire is you don't have to strip the whole thing. You just strip one side all the way down. And when you do that, you can just peel it off. See, that's what I was doing off camera. I was just stripping one side all the way down. Yep. Go ahead.
If it's unstripped already, that's better.
Yeah, that's fine. If it's stripped already, that's fine. I was just doing this so you guys knew that you could get this wire pretty much anywhere. Okay, so
you can get closer to here because I have
between the two, the grounding wire, which was already stripped, and the one I just stripped, I've got 2 wires now, and I've got about 4 feet of them. All right, which is exactly what we want. So now what I do is I take the ends, I match them up so they're level. I get my drill. Make sure it has a battery.
One is a grounding wire, and the other one is, I don't know, it's another wire. 2 wires, 2 feet.
Yeah, you just want it to be, it's about 4 feet altogether, and you just want it to be 2 stripped wires. Okay? So that's all you need. These two are stripped, and this is one end of the, both of them are about 4 feet long. So now I'm going to put this into the drill, the end of the drill, that's called the drill chuck, and all I'm doing now is I'm tightening. You're going to see in a second. Okay, now it's nice and tight on the drill chuck. Then I take the other end. Okay, so this is the other end, and it was all crinkled up because I was working with it before doing something else. Always doing something with copper wire. And I take this. Copper wire is such a great tool. If every person realized how powerful copper wire was, we'd all make all of our medical braces out of it. Any injury whatsoever helps. Copper wire helps in its vicinity. Well, almost any. I shouldn't say any. I'm not a doctor. Either way, so one end I've got held. This is why it can only be 4 feet long or so, because you have to hold it. And you can attach the other end to a doorknob or a hook or whatever. I'm just doing this for the camera. So one end's on the pliers, the other end's on the drill, and now I'm just going to twist it. Okay, simple as that. Making a nice twist. See, it's making it look real classy, like copper jewelry. This is, in fact, how they make a lot of copper jewelry.
So you're just going clockwise, right? Like you're. Yeah,
it doesn't matter though, clockwise or counterclockwise.
It doesn't? Okay.
Nope. Just however it stays the best in the drill. Okay, it's still twisting, and basically what's going to happen is I'm going to break the copper wire. That's how I know I'm going to twist it as far as I can. Or when it starts becoming misshaped, because you don't want it to be misshaped because we're going to have to attach it. So I'm pretty much at that point right now. It's starting to become misshaped. You see how it's curling extra? It's corkscrewing. I don't want that, so I'm done. Simple as that. I've got myself this right here. This is a fantastic tool, like I was just saying, just this twisted wire, because it produces that field, but it's much smaller. Then when you spin it, you're just magnifying what's there. And again, what we're doing is we're creating a different type of wavelength. So magnetic waves, they are transverse. And what that means is exactly what you think of when you think of a wave. It goes out into the environment, and it comes back, or it bounces around, or whatever. It's exactly what you think of. What this is doing is it's creating a compressional wave, which is the opposite of what you would think of with a wave, and the one we're never taught in school. But it goes, so a wavelength or a transverse wave goes like that. A compressional wavelength goes like that. Okay? And compressional wavelengths collapse fields, magnetic fields, or they bring them into a precession that puts them into avoidance. And magnetic waves irradiate things. Okay? Magnetic and dielectric. So dielectric is scalar. It is the compressional waves. We're never taught anything about scalar or compressional waves. But that's what, if anybody follows Tesla or anything, that's what Tesla was doing the last 50 years of his life. The reason they had to silence him is because he was trying to manifest these dielectric energies for our benefit. And dielectric energies, they don't hurt you. All right? They can't. They don't have that propensity to do that. Compressional wavelengths, well, they can hurt you, but not in the way a magnetic wave could hurt you. So we've got, I might have said too much about the wavelengths, but for the people that want to learn how this actually works, how miraculous this actually is, how God has provided us with everything if we only knew how to utilize it, right? And this is a gift from God. This really is. I'm not a genius. This was given to me. So anyways, I've got a nice, tight, straight wire. And what I'm going to do is, you see this other end that got corkscrewed a little bit? I'm just going to cut that off with the pliers. Okay? So now we go back to the fan. Here's the fan. And we're just gonna see which length of, or what our length of twisted wire can be. Remember, we want the most, but we want it to be secure. Okay, so how I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna hold this up to it, and I'm gonna go like this, and I'm just gonna project it, right? I'm just gonna see myself what's a comfortable length for this to be, and then I'm gonna cut 5 of them because I got 5 fan blades. So it's right about there. Okay? So Should have a little bit bigger than that. This one length. This is my total length. Do I have 5 lengths in this total length? It looks to be about perfect, so I'm going to do it. And if I don't, then I'll twist a little bit more wire up. It's as simple as that. So the first one I cut, because I marked it with my hand when I held it up. And then from that point on, we want all these to be the same length for balance reasons. So I'm just going to hold it to the wire. We're going to do this as easy as possible. Don't even need a measuring tape. Now I got my second length. And I'm going to keep my first length to the side, so I always measure off the first length, just to make sure we've got that nice balance. Okay, doing it again. This is the third. There it again. And again,
with the centrifugal force, it's creating the dielectric wave. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, with the radial spin, it helps magnify the scalar. Excuse me, that was the fan. Once you twist this copper, you're already producing those dielectric compressional wavelengths. All right, but it's just it's very small, but still powerful. If you pull this to your skin, it has a grounding effect. It grounds in the air, more or less. That's what dielectric's doing when it's near magnetic fields. It's grounding them out, more or less.
Do you recommend making one for your head?
Well, like I said, I'm wearing some right now. All right, and that's because I don't always wear it, but ever since I've done the EMP stun gun and started talking about that publicly, these people are they're utilizing every weapon system they can all the time. So I'm always breathing chemicals. All right, my neighbors are, not all of them, but some of them are always releasing them into my near environment. Multiple spook houses are doing this.
Yeah, I get them too, and I get some kind of mind sphere stuff for messaging, and that's why I said if you can figure out something for the head, that would be great.
Yeah, definitely. But utilizing copper in general, right? Like,
exactly.
I've got a headband of copper that I'll wear sometimes. It does the same thing. But once you twist the copper, you're producing those compressional wavelengths off the piezoelectric qualities that you've just imbued the copper with. And again, the copper is electrically aligned to the Schumann resonance in a multiplicity. I know that's confusing. I'll say it simpler. The copper itself is neutral. It's more or less, it's not magnetic, it's not dielectric. It can be holders of both energy. So it's right in the middle. And once you twist it up, it's giving it a piezoelectric nature. Again, that's piezoelectric is just electricity that's generated from compression. So that's all we've done here is we've generated that electricity. And that electricity in copper, when you twist it up, is dielectric or compressional or scalar. Okay? So now,
so awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's so simple, too. And this busts up chemtrail. Everybody talks about, oh, you know, we need this, we need that to get over this phase that we're in with the New World Order and all that crap. And just to keep this short, all we really need to do is bust their chemtrails. If it's the whole weapon system for the general public, targeted individuals have this on steroids. We've got this, but released in our near environment, the chemtrail stuff and whatnot, and the nanotech and all that. But this is the main thing that's going on in society right now. So if everybody did this in every house in America, tomorrow we'd be living in a new world. Literally tomorrow. It's as simple as that. I know it sounds crazy, like, yeah, but the military, the police, the corrupt politicians, like, no, they would all be done. Because not only does this get rid of all that junk in our bodies, in our environments, it doesn't get rid of it, it just neutralizes it. It also clears inflammation, all right? Because before it's insane. Scalar, it's insane how simple it is and how God's provided this to us at this time. But scalar energies, literally, they rip the magnetic inflammation from our bodies. And that's the primary form of inflammation that we have. Now, there is inflammation associated with dielectric qualities, but that is not something we really deal with that would be like dying of exposure or dying of starving to death or something. I don't want to get too far off topic. So let's get back to the fan. The blades here, because this fan has been used, you can't really see it in the light, but are dirty. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to get a paper towel, and I'm going to wetten it, and I'm going to wipe this down. So just give me 1 second for the paper towel. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to spray this down, and we're going to do this so that we make sure we get a nice grip with the first tape. And how we're going to do that is clean surface. We're going to put the wire on it, on the fan blade itself, and then we're going to attach it first with tape. Now, I like using mounting tape. Mounting tape is a fantastic tape. It's very strong. People use it to hang pictures. It's a little more expensive, but I like to do this only one time. And you guys who end up doing this later on, you'll see what I mean.
Is that the white tape? The white tape, like material, like fabric tape?
No, that would be. I think that's adhesive cloth, but this is for like the medical tape. I think. Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure, but it's not that. This is the mounting tape. It's like squishy a little bit. It's kind of foam based. You don't need to use it. I just like using it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, people use it for pictures and furniture because it's that strong. Okay,
I have to say that, Andrew, that I had one, and you warned me about it. Only once did one of the strips fly off the blade. So the tape is very important. Yeah.
So, and then after we get the, yeah, it happened to me multiple times. I had multiple failures. But once we get this first time, the tape on there, we're going to put 2 strands, because this is a little one, 2 things on each fan blade. Once we do that, and we do that with each fan blade, then we're going to go back through and we're going to hot glue it. And between the tape and the hot glue, it's not coming out. It's going to be a permanent, or it's going to last the length of the time of the fan. So you see that? Does everyone see how that attached? The light's a little funky right there. I can shift it.
I think that's what he did.
But you can see there.
Andrew, did you just put the tape on it, or how did you attach it?
Yeah, I just put the tape on there, just for now. And then, see, the lighting is just
put the tape on it.
You can see it from there.
Yes.
Can you see it from there?
The tape,
There's tape,
yes, we can see
tape on the bottom, and then the top you can't really see because of the lighting. We got one of these skylights right here.
You can see it because of the light.
All right. It tastes
Yeah, that helps in the light. Looks like.
Yeah, the top is not.
In the bottom and the tape on top.
Yeah.
Okay, now, yep, now that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the tape on the top. Okay?
Is it okay to wrap it around like 360 around the blade itself?
Yes, you can, but you'll see later on you'll get failures that way. Because eventually the wind and the dust that the fan sucks in normally is going to get underneath the tape and cause the clot.
I see.
But you can do that. If you have failures your first time, that's fine, because what you'll see is that how easy this is. You can do this over and over. And after,
because it'll mess up, like, especially if you don't do it exactly the same for each blade. It might make the blades less symmetric, you know, where one blade is a little bit different from the other blade.
Exactly.
And it may cause issue as the fan is on and turning.
Yep, and cause imbalances. Good to hear you, Julian. Didn't know you're there.
Hey, Andrew, of course.
Yeah.
Wouldn't miss it.
Okay, so we're going to do that with the other 4 now. So this is going to take a little time. I don't know where everyone's at. So if we want to start talking about something else while we do this, because we're just doing 2 pieces of tape on every fan blade. That's it right now. I just got it. I got the 5 taped on. I've done this a lot. That's why I'm so quick at it. Let's see the 5.
Hey, quick question.
Yep.
Is it better to just put like 2 per blade, or is 1 copper wire really sufficient?
The more copper, the better it's twisted, and the faster you spin it, the more effective it's going to be. So if you can fit 2 pieces of copper on there, as long as it's balanced, do it. You know. It's
so
going to be a
like fry 1, let it run for like a few days to make sure it doesn't get like messed up, and then if need be, maybe try like adding another one. But bottom line is, don't just add like 5 of them all in one go, because that can just mess up the fan, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because you got to think of weight and inertial forces. I mean, if this thing spins super fast and you've got it like a pound of copper on here, it's just going to throw it no matter what you glue, if it can even spin it. But I've burned out fan motors pretty much every single way at this point, and one of them was trying to filter air. Just throwing that out there to the person that was talking about that earlier.
Andrew,
Okay,
could you just use electrical tape instead of mounting tape? Or have you tried that?
Yeah, I've done duct tape. I've done. I don't think I've used electrical tape because it's just not that strong. But the issue is always the same thing. Whenever you're using just tape, and you have to wrap it. When you have to wrap it, it'll end up becoming frayed and flapping about. No matter really whatever tape it is, just because of the way the wind particles work. And if you don't use the hot glue, then eventually spaces will start to form from the centrifugal motion in between the wire and the fan blade, because usually the fan blades are plastic, they're not super rigid, and then that eventually will end up throwing the copper piece. That space, it will vibrate constantly, and then these things are
so you got to use the hot glue and the tape to keep it
yeah
together.
And this is for permanent, right? If you just want to mess around with this,
this is the strongest one.
Yeah, exactly.
Initially.
The mounting tape is like 30, 50 pounds capacity.
Hey, Andrew, sorry, one more question, in case it actually makes a difference. So I just realized, so as the fan spins, right, the copper wires will be perpendicular to the spin direction, so to say. Does it make a difference, or is it not advisable to, let's say, instead of putting the wire the way you did it, like perpendicular to the center of the radius, to actually make them be parallel to the actual spin, so that the wire kind of spins with the circular motion? Or does it even matter?
It would matter, but that it would be negligible. The theory behind it would be perpendicular or with this radial spin, so like this would make a more effective application. But when we put it the length of the fan, we can get more copper on it. So in this sense, this would be better, but in a theoretical sense, it would be better to put it in a ring.
Gotcha.
Just because, yeah. So in fact, I mean, this is sky's the limit here, guys. If you mess around with this, and because anybody that does this, you'll see what I'm saying is right. And I mean, please don't trust me on it. I mean, you're already here, so you do a little bit, but do it yourself, and you'll see what I'm talking about. If you want to build it in a ring pattern, and spend a little more time with it, by all means, do that, and make this thing next level, because this could go to market right now, and whoever takes this to market is going to be a billionaire. That being said, all the billionaires will kill you to make sure this doesn't go to market. So the sky's the limit here, guys. I mean, you can
exactly, especially the elite globalist billionaires.
Yeah, you can put more copper in this center space. And in fact, when we're done here, okay, we got another hour, good. When we're done here, I'm going to quickly show you what I'm working on right now, which is this idea, but next level. And it's so much more effective than this. And this is very effective, right? It's just okay, I'm not going to get ahead of myself. So here we go. I got my hot glue gun. And because there's so much, I could just talk and talk and talk. And Ian knows this. We talk quite a bit. But
love it.
Thanks. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our first strip of hot glue on one side of the copper. And the hot glue is not going to stop the scalar effect whatsoever. It doesn't block it, doesn't jam it up. So don't be afraid of going very liberal with the hot glue. But the hot glue, what we want it to do is we want it to close all the seams. We want it to make the wire, the fan blade, one piece, so the air doesn't get in between it. And that's why I chose to tape the ends, right, either end, so that I could put a solid bead of hot glue on either side of the wire and the top in between the two pieces of tape. So we've got that nice solid connection. So that's what I'm going to start doing right now. It's going to be off camera, but I'll show it to you when it dries. And it's only off camera because it's difficult to do this all at the same time. I should have a cameraman for this. But does anyone have any questions about anything we've been talking about? Okay, so I'll just start rambling now.
Well, let me ask you, Andrew.
Gorilla
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Would that be too much? Would Gorilla Glue be too much?
No, Gorilla Glue should work fine. It's the same principle. What I like about hot glue is that it's hot, so it gets into all the seams easier.
Gotcha.
Let me ask you, Andrew, do you think you have any kind of devices in your nose? I know it's kind of personal, but but do you think you have any devices where it directs? Because that's why I feel like sometimes, because I can see it coming like right to my mouth.
You have devices all over your body if you're targeted. They shoot these things into you from a distance, or they break into your house at night, however they can do it. They prefer to break into your house at night, and they prefer to wear, they're usually almost always, whenever they're doing that, they're wearing invisibility cloaks. I know that sounds absolutely nuts, but it's been going on a very, very long time. I just got, if I could screen share, no, it's on my other computer. Dang, too bad. Well, maybe Gaji can have me back, excuse me, Goji. God's girl, Gaji. I always do that backwards, the vowels. But we can have me back, and I can screen share that. I can get a presentation ready to prove what I'm saying about the invisibility cloaks. But either way, what they'll do, this has been going on a long time. I was just listening to the 80s. I was just listening to Bill Binney talk about how they were breaking into his house and injecting him with flesh-eating bacteria.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how he lost both of his legs. That's the guy from The Good American, the whistleblower on the NSA program from 2000. Yeah, the one that said...
they were putting that on him while he was sleeping or something, and until his Catherine Horton showed up and figured it out. I don't know if she did or he did, but yeah, they were doing that to him. You know, I use those chain links, and I tighten it up with a latch because they know how to get past the chain link. So if you take the slack out of the chain links, and I put like a little bell or some kind of chime or noise. So if it does get, opened or whatever, boink, there goes the bell, boink, there goes the noise, and they don't like that.
Yeah,
exactly.
Exactly. That's the right type of thinking. Okay, so this is a good segue, too, because here's I don't know if you can see quite with the lighting, but I've got one bead on each one of these on the same side. It's the top side. Trying to get that. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. Let me get right. Well, whichever. So, anyways, I'll just put one side on the same side on each blade, and it's dried. So now I'm going to do the opposite side on each blade, and it's going to, and then it's going to dry, and then I'm going to do the top, and it's going to create a nice mound of hot glue over each wire, and I'll show that to you. But the reason you do it on one side at a time is because gravity. You want gravity to work with you because you want this glue to get in the crevices of the coiled wire, like I was talking about before. Okay, so this fan, it takes away, once it's generating the scalar waves, it demagnetizes the particulate in the air. Okay? The invisibility cloaks, that technology, and again, I know that sounds crazy if you're not familiar with it, but it's been going on a very long time. That technology requires particulate to be in the air for it to be effective. Now, they can wear these ghillie suits, these with the invisibility mesh, because that's what it is. It's not actually invisibility. It's just a fabric that bends light around it. They need particulate in the air for it to be effective. And this particulate is the same particulate that's in chemtrails. So you build these things, not only does it do everything else we talked about, it also stops them from creeping around your house at night wearing those cloaks. And if they can't wear the cloaks, they do not want to creep around your house at night. because it only takes one time somebody getting caught, and all of a sudden all your friends and family believe you about this crazy shit. Only takes one time, and they're not willing to risk this because it's big money, this human trafficking.
Big money, and they've done a lot of dirt, and it could expose everything. So they stick to the script.
Exactly. No matter where you are in the country and the world. When I traveled, I was in lots of places in Latin America, and the people that were coming after me in those places were mostly Israelis. The Israelis stuck to this script too. When there wasn't chemtrails in the air, I didn't have to deal with the invisibility cloaks. I mean, I was in places what you would call some of the poorest places in the world. I mean, Nicaragua being one of them. And they would wear invisibility cloaks when they could, and they would walk around on these people's metal roofs. You could hear them clearly. All the dogs would freak out. And all these houses, even the houses in the nice area, they're all butted up against each other. So you could hear these people walking from metal roof to metal roof, and all the dogs losing it, everyone waking up, and they still did it. Because they had the capacity to not be seen.
Have you ever seen the cloaking clothes?
Yeah, I have it. I have it saved. Another Target just actually found it retail. They go for like $12,000, and they're completely airtight. They're this one that he's found, it gives you 4.5 hours of breathing time. So I don't know how that part of it works, but it looks like a mix between. No, it looks more like a hazmat suit, but it's got that special fabric, and then it's got some like heavier duty qualities to it.
So
like
it's
basically
actually like clothing. Is
yeah,
actually kind of like clothing or something.
Yeah, it's like a full suit that covers everything. And then it's got it on it.
If I ever seen shenanigans like that, I have a baseball bat where I'm just going to start swinging like on the movie signs, remember?
Yeah, I used to, before I knew how to get rid of it, I knew they were there because my one of the people around me used to be one of the suit operators, and this is when I lived at a different house. And this guy, he would flicker it on and off, right, to like scare me or something, or he actually only did that once. But I knew it was happening before that because other targets had told me, watch out for these things, and you'll see them for yourself. And I did. Anyways, I would take a broomstick, and with the broom head off of it, and I would wave it around if I had any fear of anything like that. And this is, by the way, this is one of the ways they're killing people. How they're killing celebrities and stuff. There was a, I don't know this firsthand, but just, again, like Bill Binney, when you hear the story, you're like, that's definitely what's going on. With, how are they breaking into his house and injecting him with flesh-eating bacteria every night or every few nights? I mean, they're cloaked. But there was a guy, the guy who made The Whitest Kids You Know, Trevor or something. Anyways, he talked a lot of crap about the Bushes in particular, but about the deep state generally. And he fell off and died from his 14, 15 feet up from his second floor at his house. He wasn't drunk or anything like this. This happened about 2 years ago, something like that. He was 38. 99% sure it was a guy in a cloak. And 99% sure they killed him before he fell. Like choked him out, something like that. That's how they do that, though. Okay, so back to topic here. I've got each one of these. Let's see if I can't get that in there. Each one of these has got a heavy, excuse me, I'm having to pick up the whole laptop here. It's got a heavy bead. Can you see that?
Yeah, and that's definitely the front of the fan, right?
Yeah, and the front just works better because of the contours of the fan blade, usually.
This is not what you put on, is it? Is that what you? Yeah. What's the top? What do you have on the tips of each copper thing?
That's the mounting tape. That's just the back of the mounting tape.
Okay, then, so you put the tape that way.
Yeah, and then the hot glue was over the top. And in fact, I saw some gaps in the hot glue, and because I want to use this as a scalar wave generator, fan, whatever, I'm going to fill them in right now. This isn't just for a presentation. I'm going to use this forever because I gift these things. I just give them to people. I go, hey, you need a fan? And they go, yeah, actually I do. It's hot. And so I give them one of these with the copper attached to it. I go, hey, it makes it work better. They don't need to know.
Is it important not to make sure that some copper is exposed and not fully covered by the glue?
It doesn't matter.
So even if you cover it completely in glue, like completely covered, it'll still work?
Yeah, it'll still work great. In fact, it might work even a little bit better, just a tiny, tiny, tiny amount, because it adds to the piezoelectric quality.
Oh. And does it matter what type of glue or just any hot glue?
Any glue is fine. The hot glue I like because it's hot, so it gets into all the crevices and makes that seamless mold. But it's a little messy, so, you know, however you want to do it.
Okay.
Okay, so hold this up again. Each one of these pieces of wire, oh man, I wish the camera picked that up. It just doesn't, though. Each one is, okay, it's all encapsulated. That's the point. And we're done. All I got to do now is put the cover back on. But I'm not going to put the cover back on right now. I'm just going to turn it on so you can see it spin. Actually, I'll make sure the glue's dry. Okay, glue's dry.
Now, Andrew, do you usually leave it horizontal or vertical?
It works. See, there you go. It's spinning. It's not throwing any. And you see it's balanced. It's got a little bit of a shake.
Does it make any noise at all?
Yeah, it's got a fan, just the regular fan noise. Maybe it's a little bit louder right now, but that's on its max. So we lost a little bit of speed added to it, and we've got a little bit of a vibration because of the weight, but that's it. That's as good as you could hope for right there. And then I'll let it wind.
You, like, say if you put that near you while you're sleeping, that's going to hopefully keep some of the junk away from you. Is that what we're thinking here?
No, no, because it's a fan. So if there's aerosols or chemicals in the air, it's going to push them around. But it's going to produce the scalar field, which demagnetizes you, right, and your environment. So it's going to benefit you. If you've got a bunch of chemicals in your room, just be cognizant of it and figure out where the best place is to put the fans are. So, for example, figure out, see, that's a different conversation, but figure out where you're being aerosolized from. And then, you know, create the right eddy currents or breezeways to help you, to benefit you.
Do you think they're coming in through the window?
So how that works is it's the same weather weapon system that's in chemtrails or whatever. They are blanketing your area from the sky, from the sides, and from the sewer. Okay? The sewer, they're releasing chemicals into the sewer, so when you use your water, water goes down, gases come up. Chemtrails is obvious, and the neighbor stuff can be very deceptive sometimes. Sometimes they're using dryers. Sometimes they're using fireplaces. It's however, basically, they can heat the particulate up and move it around. And it's being moved around with microwave amplification systems, so masers. It's basically like a laser, but in a different electromagnetic spectrum, different part of the spectrum.
Yeah, because I could take a laser and darken the, you know, my whole area, and that laser will show all the stuff just flying around like crazy.
Yeah, yeah. You can actually can take a cheap home camera system, and when it turns to night vision mode at various times of the day, the nano will clump, and you can see it visibly using the night vision mode of those cheap cameras. It looks like a blizzard, but then it's like there's no snow, so it's like, what is it, right? And it's, you know, what gets me is that every person with a home camera system is seeing this stuff on a regular basis, and nobody's saying anything about it. Like I mean, that's not true. Probably a lot of people are always saying something about it. It's just not getting out.
Well, you're talking about just the public, not a TI. They see it, but they don't pay attention to it.
No, they don't. They don't pay attention to anything. The public is getting this too, guaranteed, because it's in the chemtrails. So even though you're targeted, or probably targeted if you're listening to this stream, the public's dealing with the same weapon systems. It's just that you're getting them to a much higher degree. The I mean, I know that sounds like an exaggeration, but it's not.
No.
The nanotech is in everything. The nanoparticulate, heavy metals, synthetic metals, the chemicals, it's in everything. So everyone's being inundated with this. And in fact, targets, what they are data streams and data ledgers to go back in to feed the AI or whatever
Exactly. Yeah.
to use on the regular public. So they're just trying to automate this system that they can't right now, or they're in the process of.
By the way, Whitley Strieber, who is big in like...
And I can actually see it. I see the chemical, and I was told, how do you see it? I'm like, I don't know, but I see it, and then I smell it, so I know it's, it's real.
On a hot day, you can feel it. You can literally walk into a room and feel it hit you because it has a moisture quality to it.
Yes,
it basically, yeah. So you can literally feel.
It's definitely one of the first senses it hits.
Yeah.
And it smells. I get the smell of yeast. I don't know, but I know that's the bacteria, parasites, nanites, whatever.
How would you describe the smell of yeast, if you don't mind? How would you describe the smell of yeast in like other terms? Like, does it smell like cooked food? Does it smell like bread? Like
the aerosols?
When you said that it smells like yeast, because I don't know what yeast smells like. So how would you describe it?
It just smells like bacteria. I can't explain it.
Like moldy?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, because I had my tree outside messed with, and I went outside and I smelled mold, and I'm like, what the heck was that? And my tree down, within that week, half of it died. So they sprayed my tree. So maybe mold might be a better word.
Can I ask you, what if, let's say, someone described a certain smell as like burning oatmeal? Would that be close to that by any chance?
No, it smells like
somewhat sweet but disgusting
or something like that. Yeah,
meat?
It's a mold, bacteria, yeast smell. I don't know how to explain it, but if you smell like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like a moldy moisture, very moist, and I guess that's what an aerosol is. It's a moist type of, because it's like an aerosol basically. But I did smell mold when I went in my backyard, and half of my tree died because they sprayed it. They thought that was but they thought that was cool,
So they were targeting. There's two things I could say about this. They're targeting your tree to give them breezeways. If the tree with the trees and plants, organic matter, they've got a certain electrical charge, a dielectric charge, an alkaline charge, that doesn't allow them to literally the physical barrier also.
And that makes sense because that tree would be like it was in the direct way of my bedroom, I would say. You know what I mean? So that makes sense. Yeah.
That's par for the course. They've done it everywhere I've lived. And then the other thing is, to what Yulian was asking, they can scent this stuff anything. Here, they'll scent it in the summer. They scent it like skunks because there's skunks in the area, and it's plausible deniability. In the winter, they scent it as garlic salt. So it smells like somebody's cooking because it's plausible deniability. They'll scent it.
They do smells. I know they definitely do.
If they're getting your sewer really bad, they'll scent it like shampoo. If they're getting access to your house and they're doing the sewer system really bad, then they'll scent it like your shampoo. That's how clever this counterintelligence torture operations work.
And one night, when this is because I'm retired now, one night I was at work. Every night when they sprayed my desk area, at right around midnight, because I got off at like 12:10. Right at midnight, I would smell a mentholatum, like they were trying to clean up the smell area. And it was mentholatum, and there was nobody around me that had mentholatum. There was not even anybody around me, and I'm like, okay, so why am I smelling mentholatum every night at this time, and I think they were cleaning up the smell area because, you know, the coworkers saying, well, what the hell is that smell? There's something going on here. But
Well,
yeah,
you don't know.
The mentholatum smell.
You don't know what's going on with your neighbors either. Your neighbors could be bitching themselves, excuse my language, could be talking to themselves, going, what the heck is all these smells that are going on? And once the contractors get wind of that, then they have to start addressing those things. Like they can only go so far because they lose plausible deniability if they cross that threshold. And if these people aren't engaged in your targeting, right, then they really have to maintain it. That's the line they'll have to maintain. So that's why they try so hard to get the people you know like that, your acquaintances, in on it, so they don't have to worry about plausible deniability. But that's really the only thing stopping them.
Even though they're getting it all around us, I mean, it just don't stay in one spot.
Yeah, they end up breathing. The contractors, they're the dredge of society, but they are the brainwashed, usually military or military family order followers that enable all of this. They really are the crux of what's happening in America. It's like we can talk about billionaires and all that, and I think it's relevant too because they end up tricking those people. But still, it's those people on the ground that are getting paid, you know, $80,000 to $160,000 a year to do this. That have created the secret.
We are dealing with military grade stuff. I mean,
it's a military force.
Military grade.
It's a private. It's literally a private military force, and the only reason we don't put it in those terms is because we think we're free. You know, well, not us in the room. We understand. We see through the veil. But if Americans had more perception of what's really happening in this country, they wouldn't call these contractors contractors. They would literally call them what they are, which is a private military that works for a corporate interest, you know, because that's what they are, just like our military is the public side. Anyway, so here's the thing put back together.
So can they be called paramilitary then? Paramilitary?
Yeah,
can they be called paramilitary?
Paramilitary means like military. I would say that they are a function of the military. But that being said, they are private at this point. But with a huge public interface. So you could call it paramilitary. You could actually call it the new military or a branch of the new military that's just not talked about. You could also call them secret police. I think all those things are true.
Okay.
Because they are secret police at the end of the day, too. Secret military. Okay, so that's that. We're at 1:30. I'll give this another however long people want, but we put together the fan. We know roughly how it works. And then you guys want to see the future of the fan technology? This is the prototype. I've got this thing. That's what you're hearing cracking right now. I've gotten this thing down to, I don't know, about $80 to build, $100 to build, so pretty cheap. There it is. That's a rotary spark gap. It produces lots of ozone, too, on... Excuse me, I'm having an old laptop. On this side, this is a car ignition coil. This is a dimmer switch. That's just a desk fan, and that's the power going from the car ignition coil to the buses. But this is, one side has got 50,000 volts coming into it, and the other side is ground. And then right in the middle, that's how that's where the copper is. So I'll turn it off, and you can see for yourself.
So this is like a more powerful version of the copper fan.
Yes, this is much more.
Andrew?
Yeah?
Can you repeat again what you're showing at the moment, please?
Yeah, this is the future of the technology as far as I see it. This makes it another 10, 20, 50, 100 times more effective. But this right here, this is a car ignition coil. This is the car ignition wire, coil wire. It goes from it. It's just like a cylindrical coil. I'll be making a video in the next 2-3 weeks about this. This is a dimmer switch, just the one that you would use for your lights in your house. That's oil. That insulates it better, makes sure it doesn't break, because those will break without the oil.
So basically, this wire right here is connected to your house, just your outlet. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see that. This goes into the dimmer switch. From the dimmer switch, there's a capacitor rated at 4 or 5 microfarads. I know this is over a lot of people's head, but if you saw a video of it, it wouldn't be that confusing. Most people could build it. It just takes a little bit of tinkering. Then it goes into a car ignition coil. Try to pull that out so you can see it. There's the car ignition coil. It's cylindrical. I don't know if you can really see that very well.
Did you say car ignition?
Yeah. You can buy all of this stuff at Home Depot and an auto parts store in any city.
Okay.
Yeah.
Home
And
Depot
then
auto parts stuff.
80. Well, both. You have to go to both to do it. And then but like I said, it takes a bit of tinkering. So anyone that's a tinkerer that sees just this can figure it out. But if you don't have that background, then just wait for the video or email me privately, and I can tell you the first step. The first step is building the high voltage power supply. This is the high voltage power supply, and this is the apparatus it's going into. So right here, this is the copper wire. I kept the insulation here. That's the hot glue. These are the electrodes. So without it spinning, hold on a second, you can see how it works pretty clearly. It's hard to hold everything. Okay, so that's just the fan spinning by itself. I unplugged the wrong thing, but that's the high voltage supply. So when the high voltage supply affects the electrode spinning, then you get that dielectric scalar effect to a much higher magnitude. So really, when you just combine the spark gap with the spinning apparatus, it magnifies it. But it's crazy because it does everything that we were talking about.
Is it possible to estimate, like one of these, is it like the equivalent in power to, let's say, 5 copper fans or 10 copper fans?
I would say, well, so the thing is that when you're doing the copper fans, you reach a ceiling of dielectric energy or scalar wave potentiation in an area. This has a much higher ceiling. So it would be like race cars. Like, how fast can you get your Honda Accord? Probably get it going pretty fast, 150 miles per hour. But it's going to be nothing compared to an F1. A Formula Series 1 car. A Formula Series 1 car, what do they go, 300 miles an hour? So we're just talking about different ceilings. So it'd be like, how many Honda Accords can reach an F1 car or go as fast? There would be no amount that could do that. It's just it's a bigger scale.
It's multiple times, but the net effect on the room or whatever area that it's working in, the net effect is like just at least multiple times higher, right?
Yeah. In a very simple way to explain, yes, it is. The copper fans, what's so great about them is that you're not messing with high voltage. You're just flipping on a fan. You do that one time, you're good, right? So I always have those going in my house. The high voltage I turn on at night. And what this thing does, this rotary spark gap, it creates a near field much stronger, like I was just saying, that actually disables the proliferation of nanotech. So the nanotech that's in everything can no longer seed itself in you. You'll still be eating it, you'll still be breathing it, but it no longer flourishes in you. And because of that, it is more or less destroys nano. It doesn't actually destroy nano, it just keeps it from growing in you. So
No, sorry, go ahead.
So basically, in this technology, this is the end of the New World Order bullshit right here. I know it sounds like I sound like a nut saying something like that, or it sounds like I'm being grandiose or whatever, but I'm not.
It works.
Yeah,
I completely hear what you're saying about the fact that the chemtrails and all this nano blanketing us is like the enabler of many things, right?
Yeah.
So if that can be addressed in one's living context, that has to have a huge effect.
Okay, so that being said, really quick, Ewan, if anybody knows any vaccine-injured people, please send them my way. because I need to get people that have been injured exposed to this. Because I'm 99% sure, or not 99, but 95% sure that this will help them immensely, if not alleviate all of their symptoms. It won't cure the genetic manipulation, but maybe over time it will. I don't know. But either way, in the short term, it should stop the symptoms of the nanotech, which is what the vaccine-injured people are really dealing with. That and the environmental pollutants. I just don't have access to any vaccine-injured people, so please send them my way. My email is on the Rumble channel, the OnionheadAndrew channel. Please, anybody. I could really get the ball rolling on this. This information is much, much bigger than me.
Yeah, the information is priceless, actually, and I'm just reminded of what Dave Case said a few years back to me, which was that he's an engineer, an electrical engineer, and he said certainly with like-minded people, we can tear this program down from the inside out. Like, we can create things that will break it apart, and which causes freedom. So, he invented the SD card and a CD card that creates a magnetic field. It builds a firewall around your brain, and it helps with neuroplasticity, and it's helping people with tinnitus and with V2K. He also made the 2 electrical power strips that you plug in so that they can't do the power surges that will break these things and will hurt us. They use when they use the electricity to assault us. So, and what you're doing here is absolutely phenomenal. That you can help so many people with this. I mean, just when you say inflammation and helping to create, to change the magnetic field, that's what we need. And we need more of this, and we need, like you're saying, I think you had told me that I could clear the air for I don't know what radius of people with the chemtrails. And actually it did, because they stopped flying over me, so they stopped flying over the whatever radius in my area. So, and then it cleared up. So this stuff is priceless, and I'm so happy to spread the word, and that you're doing what you're doing, and that you're still building and still tinkering, and we need more of this. I agree. If everybody were to do this, that they would have to stop. We would be tearing it down from the inside out.
They would have to set off the nukes, more like it. But yeah, that would force them to do some crazy stuff. But it would be the end of all the crap that we're going through right now.
Right.
The targeting program would be done. And not only that, but the vaccine-injured element, the nanotech part of this would be done. And then what do these people have left?
Andrew, let me ask you, so would it be safe to say, that the nanoparticles, they're basically demagnetized, and that would be for programming or for directing it a certain way? Or, because that's what it seems like. I've actually seen a video where it came down and it did a 90-degree turn and it went towards a person. So that would mean that it's being directed with the magnetism. So if you demagnetize it, is it like going to be all on the ground?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how it works. It doesn't actually destroy anything. It just deactivates it. It just nullifies it, brings it all into null or avoidance, or which is to say at neutral.
Awesome.
So it's basically like deoxidizes or something, or like makes the charge neutral. These nanos?
Yeah. You can think of that in terms of oxygenation, because that's part of it. That's the natural process of making something magnetic, is oxygenating. That's a natural though. That's just a natural process. When you throw directed energy weapons into this, it's better to think about it in terms of dielectric and magnetic. But then we're dealing in etheric physics, and almost nobody understands etheric physics. But that is, trust me, the people that are running the show very much know what I'm doing. And this is another reason I faced so many attempts on my life. One of the many reasons. It's been going on a long time.
Well, there are positive forces that seem to be aiding you as well.
Yeah, that's for sure. Because literally this, and that's why I keep saying these were all gifts from God. Because this itself, this last one, this high voltage supply in the radial spark gap, this came to me right at the same time that the original idea of copper, spinning copper, came to me. But that was before I even knew the physics. I just thought to myself, that should be something I do. I didn't know why. It was just like a daydream. And then I figured out the physics to it, and I was like, that's crazy.
Wow.
It's just crazy. It's crazy,
got a
man.
download to nudge you towards doing this stuff. Huh?
Well, yeah, it's definitely what's going on. And we're all getting it right now, too. If you're targeted, I think this is one of the reasons you're targeted, but I don't want to get into that. It's like a longer conversation.
Hey, no problem. Hey, Andrew, a couple of quick questions. Do you recommend replacing, like, let's say, the box fan or the ceiling fan? Do you recommend replacing the copper wires every some regular time period?
They will become tarnished from the friction of the particulate in the air. It has a very, very negligible effect, so I would say no.
So it's not like a battery that runs out or something that quenches. It's just simply as long as the mechanics of the spin can continue supporting it, it's still good.
As long as the mechanics of the spin continue and the twist remains tight. And how many hundreds of years will that take to not have a tight twist? Actually, probably 80 years, something like that. 50 years.
Would you recommend cleaning it too? Yeah. I mean,
well, you will see the Julian. You know the filaments that you've been seeing around everywhere. Sorry, I didn't mean to make it.
That's fine.
This will accrue them, because when the filaments, the synthetic biology, nanoparticulate, nanomachinery filaments, smart dust, whatever you want to call it, if it crosses the path of the spinning copper, this will bring it into null, and when it's brought into null, it'll collect on it just naturally. So you can
those things have a glue aspect to them, so they will start to accumulate.
Yeah. If I stop my ceiling fan right now, I'm not going to, because holding the laptop and standing on a ladder would be too much. You would see I've got these mass amounts of dust bunnies, what looks to be dust bunnies. They're not. They're all smart dust being released by my spook neighbors. And again, I don't have all spook neighbors. I've got regular neighbors too.
So the lady was asking a great question then. So how would you recommend that we clean it while, not reducing its effectiveness?
You don't really have to worry about it losing its effectiveness. What I do is I take dry wipes. I try to dry wipe it so I don't smear it. But it's not that effective. Yep.
This is a question for Goji. Goji, I believe you did start recording for this. Is there a place we can go see that recording?
I did record this, and I'm working on a place to go. It'll most likely be GajisJam.com, my website.
Okay.
In the meantime, what I was doing was putting everything on YouTube, and YouTube kept suspending me. I'm sure they would suspend me for this. So I'm trying to create a Rumble page where I can put all of my shows, and so this would be
great. And Andrew, do you have a Rumble site? Do you have making this fan on Rumble?
Yeah, there's two videos. One's 10 minutes and the other one's a minute.
Okay. So do you just go look for your name, Onionhead, and then build a copper fan or whatever you call it?
It's DIY negative ionic generator, because I didn't know how to market. I don't know how to market, But and the other one is Chemtrail Buster.
Okay, he sent me the links so I could forward it to everyone that is here today. Are those the same links, Andrew?
Yeah.
That you sent me? Okay.
And then Gaji, if you could send me this video, I'll post this in its entirety. Well, I'll edit a little bit of when the laptops weren't working. We're talking about ice cream or whatever. No, that was a different time. Anyway, yeah. I'll edit out your guys' personal.
Does anybody?
Yeah, I probably will though. Does anybody want to not have any information public?
I would say if it's not too much trouble, but if it is, you can keep it there. It's not that important. I don't care. But if
Okay,
you could, like, if it's quick and easy, please do. If it's not quick and easy, don't worry about it.
No, it will be quick and easy. I'll edit out everybody's intros when I was messing with the laptops. If that's fine?
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
By the way, just an idea. You know, David Case, like, he sells those, the filters and a few other like gadgets and CDs.
Yeah.
Obviously, he makes very little profit on it because he's really a swell guy, in terms of that. But just as an idea, Andrew, you can maybe some people don't even want to bother, opening up the fan and playing with the copper wire. They would just rather, pay someone $100 and just send them like a box fan that's ready to go. Just food for thought.
Yeah. Yeah. No, by all means, anybody that wants to do anything like that, I'm not opposed
for you,
to.
I mean, for you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I would like to figure that out, to be honest. But that being said, I'm not at that point right now with the targeting.
I've asked him several times. I've asked him several times. He won't do it because that thing that you have right there, I know I could never get through it, and I need it so bad. I would pay you for it, but
someone lives in your vicinity and is able to just pick it up from you for a fee instead of relying on it going through the postal office. Anyway,
no.
But, people like you should benefit from being so productive with these great ideas.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and especially the people that you're referring to, the ones who were injured by the vaccine. I mean, I didn't take it, but I have close members of my family that took it, and I can see the repercussions of it, and they need that. So we've got to find a way to get this help out there. We really do. And so I'm sure everyone here has a family member that took the vaccine for one reason, and some people here probably took the jab. But we need that. So we gotta. I had already told you I was going to call you afterwards, and that's really what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
I can't drive to Washington, but to you, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, this machine that I've just finished is just I'm just sure of it now. That just happened the last few days. I've had it running now for about 3 weeks, give or take, and I think it's stable. I need to run it for another week or two, just to make sure. But it's just past prototype right now, or it's just getting past prototype.
So, Andrew, do you intend to sell these, or are you going to do a video to show how to make it?
Yeah, that's going to be the first thing. Always the first thing is showing people how to make things. Because
that's the best.
Yeah, because if you can do it, or somebody who can do it, then I'm only one person, right? So if I don't like the money part of it, yeah, by all means, but I live off nothing right now, off alms that people give me, more or less. So I mean, that's literally what it is. I've been targeted so long by people trying to.
If you have a donation page, just let us know, because I would definitely send you a donation just for doing the video alone.
Okay, yeah, I'll go over to OnionheadAndrew on Rumble and just go through, peruse that. There's a lot of information too that we haven't covered that is very beneficial, like for example, incandescent red lights. Incandescent red lights are fantastic for alleviating symptoms of directed energy weapons.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Let me ask you about that, the incandescent red light. So I know they use lights against us, and I like to make sure everything is pitch black, especially when I sleep, because of that. If I put on an incandescent red light, would it still help them, or would it help me?
Oh, it would help you tremendously. They're using, when it comes to in the light spectrum, they're using blue and ultraviolet.
Okay.
Red light, yeah, when in the light spectrum, but they're using everything really. The outside of the light spectrum, everything up to like microwave or not microwave, but X-ray. There's evidence of all of it. But and then they're using lasers, which is to say directed arrays of certain EMF, certain spectrum of the EMF. So that's a whole other thing. But the red light, what it does that's so beneficial is it actually takes the cellular wastewater around your cells and it detoxes it. It moves it out. That's what the whole red light sauna thing is about. But the red light saunas, the issue with them is they're using LEDs, the light emitting diode. That's what LED means. And what that is a very quick flash pulse. That pulse is not beneficial for you in the light spectrum, no matter if it's infrared or blue light. It's especially bad with the blue light. So when you go to buy one of these things, if you get a 150 watt incandescent red light, it's a heat lamp that you can buy at pet stores. It's for reptiles. That will just blow you away. Those things, they cost $25. You got to get a heat lamp hood for it. And then what you can do with that is you can aim that around wherever you're being attacked, and immediately you'll see the symptoms go away. And it will prove to you the point I've been making forever about you, without the heavy metals present in your body, these directed energy weapons are negligible. They're practically, you practically can't even feel them. You need to have heavy metals. You need to have nanomachinery to some extent, ordering the heavy metals, and that needs to be accessed with directed energy weapons for that to be effective. So again, just using the red light by itself will benefit you greatly, even if you don't deactivate the implants with the DIY stun gun, even if you don't build the copper fan to demagnetize the environment around you, even if you just use the red light, right? Even if you're not eating alkaline foods, if you just use the red light, you'll notice what I'm talking about to be true, because it will cause that sweating. The sweating will cause the heavy metals in the area to go away. And when the heavy metals in the area are gone away, then you'll feel the pulses of these channels of polarization throughout your body, and on and on and on. And I'm going to start ranting. So
let me ask you this, Andrew, about that. Do you have to? Will it go through your clothes, or it has to hit your skin?
Well, it's light, so it has to hit your skin.
Okay.
But that being said, if you wear a thin enough fabric, it will go through the thin enough fabric. But they're heat lamps, so you don't really want that. If you guys want to give me 3 minutes, I'll go run and grab one and show you exactly, just as a bonus.
That'd be great.
If not, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. We're still within our time.
I want to see it.
Okay,
yeah. Great.
Oh, just give me 3 minutes. I got to go outside.
Yep.
And while he goes get that, is there a way we can set up, like, I need help making my EMP device.
Me too,
So,
Deborah.
Yeah. Hi, God.
Let me tell you, hey, how you doing? Let me tell you something. I have all of the equipment to make 4, and I thought I was going to do it in an assembly line. Bam, 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 bam. Well, I got someone to help me do the pull the edges off of the wires, and so I have 4 coils with the edges pulled off. But that working with the hot glue gun, I mean, really, it's like I couldn't get the wire to stick to the car. I mean, so you know what I mean. And then I got to go get it's been challenging. But
I made a fan, and all the stuff that I ended up using that copper foil stuff, which is not as good as the wire at all, because the wire kept falling off. So
right. I can't get it to stick. I can't get it to stick. So I'm like, but I'm not good with a hot glue gun, obviously.
Me either. And so, but yeah, it would be good if we could, like, or just go see him, heck, but I could use that EMP thing, I'm sure you too, but I could use the help making it. I got some of the parts, but, the fan, I had issues, and I'm using it, and it has made a difference, but, the copper foil that you get on Amazon is not nearly as good as the wire, so, and it's the glue problem. It's the glue problem, yeah.
It's the glue gun. I mean, maybe mine was too cheap or something, because mine does not look like what Andrew had today. So maybe, I don't know what it is. Maybe it didn't get it hot enough. I don't know. But I have somebody that masters that glue gun, so I'm going to have her work it for me.
Okay,
well,
okay, good.
This glue gun right here, it's got the thicker
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the standard. You probably had the mini one.
I do. That's
Either
no
one's
good?
fine, but
Oh, okay.
you probably didn't use enough hot glue. You really want to
okay.
you really want to coat it, and your wire wasn't twisted very good either. I remember, so there was probably lots.
No, my fan is good. We were talking about the one with the EMF gun. Yeah. Yeah, that the reason, by the way, that we shied away from that is because different states have different regulations in reference to one of the parts we're using, the stun gun. So I just stayed away from it. My goal was that was my very first workshop that we were going to do, but because of the different regulations, I just, I would have to examine them and then find out if everybody's from those places and blah, 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 and it's just so much.
I bought one in my state, and so I assume because it was sold in my state, but then there's more you know what I'm saying? I just need help with that, although maybe we can go visit him, or I would love to get your email or something, and we know how those things work, but I think I need some knowledge to make my first one.
Okay, don't be afraid of it. It's not nearly as bad as it sounds. As far as scotching goes, use more hot glue. Did you get the spark gap to go between the wire and the electrode?
I didn't get that far because I couldn't get.
I didn't get that far.
Yeah, you have to get the thing to stick, the coil to stick on the the board first.
We're having glue problems.
Yeah. So if I got the coil to stick on the board, I think I would be okay for the rest of it.
Well, use tape then. Use tape. You don't have to use hot glue. Yeah.
You can use tape.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That mounting tape works great for all that stuff.
Okay.
So, but it's double-sided too, so it helps with that. So you can just press one side.
What about nanotape?
I have strong tape. Okay.
I'm not sure. Yeah, any tape that works. You could even use Elmer's glue. You could just pour it on there. Whichever. Yeah.
All right.
I see. I've been tinkering and building things for a long time at this point, so I kind of forget. But okay, so check this out. This is the incandescent lamp, right? This is the bulb right here. You buy this bulb. I bought it here locally. The pet store, the corporate pet store is Petco, but I think there's another one. It's like PetSmart. Yeah. The reason, I'll just do that. Is that? Coming off there very good. It's been on a long time, so I'm not going to take it off. You can see it right there. That's $25 at pet store, maybe a little bit more depending where you are. This hood lamp I got at Home Depot for I think $12. I like it because it's got the clamp, so you can clamp this to various things. Like when you're sleeping, I used to use this a lot when I was sleeping. And sleeping under it, by the way, is fantastic. This is the same feeling you get from standing out under the sun. When you're sunbathing,
I'm gonna try it.
Oh, it feels so good. It was the only reason I don't do it anymore is because I got a lot of other things that I'm testing and whatnot. I'll use it again eventually. And plus my sleeping situation. We're in a very small house and I'm living with family. But either way, it produces a pretty powerful red light. The red light has the effect I was talking about at about this distance. So that's the only negative thing about it. Right when you start feeling the heat, that's when it's actually getting the cellular wastewater away from your cells. It's transporting it to the lymph nodes.
Andrew, is there a certain brand or something or a certain name for that red light?
No, but literally it's almost every reptile light at every pet store will fit this. There's ones that you can buy that I buy locally or whatever. I could find one of the brand names, but literally wherever you are, just go to your corporate pet store or your regular pet store and ask if they've got a 150 watt incandescent. That's important. Incandescent red lamp, heat lamp, red light. And
why
that's
would
usually
at a pet store?
For reptiles. This is their basking lamp. It's for nighttime. Their nighttime basking lamp.
And it feels so good. I have too, and I just haven't used them enough. I really need to use them more.
Yeah, it feels great right now. I'm getting attacked a little bit. I'm getting attacked a little bit. I put this light this far away from my skull where I'm being attacked. Symptoms immediately go away.
What is the distance? Because I'm a call-in. I'm not seeing the video. I'm going to have to watch the video later on Rumble and on Gaji's channel. But what is the distance?
It's like 12 inches, 10 inches. It's pretty cool.
Okay. And is there a way to work with you on the EMP? I think I need some, just to get, so I got a stun gun that's in the state that I'm in, so that is hopefully, would have to be, it was sold. But I just need some help with some things, like you said, the spark gap and I'm having glue issues. But, using tape, that's good to know.
Yes, you can email me at ACOLE9689. Now you can find that email on OnionheadAndrew Rumble channel under every video in the description box.
Okay, I missed that. So ACOLE9689 at
Hotmail.
At Hotmail.
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, it's ACOLE9689 at Hotmail.
I put it in the chat, everybody. It's in the chat.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
I think we're about out of time.
Last question. The red light.
Did you know
that
Rumble is owned by Palantir and Peter Thiel?
What about Palantir?
That Palantir and Peter Thiel own Rumble. I mean, surprisingly.
Collecting our data. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but for whatever reason,
they don't censor anybody.
Yeah. So that's the only place that will have me outside of BitChute, and I can't upload to BitChute for whatever reason. So Rumble doesn't censor me. I can't even post to YouTube. They censor me right at the upload.
Wow. Andrew, do you have a website?
What you just mentioned before, the private military people, are they people who have been former military and are military contractors, or who? What kind of group are they? Because they seem to be working together with police, fusion centers, and sheriff's offices. So what kind of private military are they? Are they like kind of security companies formed with former military?
Yes, all of those things are true. I'll keep this really, really quick because we're at 2 my time, 5 your time. There's all those things and above. The way they facilitate all this is through informal networks, because this is human trafficking, right? But there is formal networks that are in place to move some of it around. The Fusion Center being one of them, the Sheriff's Office being one of them, the U.S. military being one of them. But the people on the ground in your environment that are doing this, they all have daytime jobs. Most of them, not all of them. Most of them have daytime jobs. The daytime jobs they work at, or the other job they work at, is some corporate apparatus that they're using as a money laundering front. Sometimes that is the city or the county. Sometimes they're city and county that their front is established in. Anyways, it's called sheep dipped. When you take one of these people and you make them look like they're regular people. And they are regular people in that sense, too. They live in our community, right? They're from here. Most of the time, they're former military. But this is primarily what they do, is human traffic and assault people with these weapon systems. So they have a job a lot of time. Like, there's one guy across the street from me right now. I don't even care. I'll say it. He's got a job at a big construction company here locally, and he does do that job. But, he also is a private military contractor, and he makes probably the same or more, or maybe he did, or maybe he will in the future. I don't know. It changes, right? They pick up these contracts, they leave these contracts. But when he was, if he's still active, I don't know. Because again, it's all dependent on the person. But when he's active, he'll make more or as much money being a human trafficker as he does as his 9 to 5. So that's the incentive for these people. They end up going from $40,000, $50,000 a year working a quote regular person job to $150,000, $140,000 a year, and all they have to do is torture someone they don't know. And if they don't do it, then someone else will do it. That's the way they think about it. So that's what they do. And then there's there's other people that this is all they do, and those people they usually spend a big chunk of their life overseas, either from a military family or from the military itself. And they end up working as the drone operators, or pick your thing, right? Like RF transmission specialist, whatever. I don't know all their job titles, but when you're dealing with this human trafficking, you're dealing with that whole network. So it's not just the sheriff, it's not just the U.S. military, it's not just the private military contractors. It's all of them working together in whatever capacity that they can get away with. And the people that have the greatest ends in your life are the people that are the closest to you physically or emotionally. Sometimes they will literally have like honeypots or friends that are honeypots, which is to say they'll have people in your life to access you, and they will literally be paid to be your friend, your girlfriend, your coworker, whatever, But however they're getting access, those people have the highest plausible deniability, and they're the ones that go the farthest. Here locally, for me, I'm of the age, so they do this a lot, but they'll hire prostitutes quite a bit to try to honeypot me. And they'll be my age, they'll be attractive, whatnot. But let's say if I got into a relationship with one of these women, what would happen to me is that in the middle of the night, these people would leave shit unlocked, excuse my language, they would leave stuff unlocked, and these contractors would break in and they would inject me with stuff. And I was literally just talking to a person that this happened to, another target. So you're dealing with all of it. It's not just one or the other. This is the secret police. This is the private military I was talking about. This is the groups within the groups. Right? So again, it's not one thing in particular.
Let me say that. Let me jump in, Liliana.
Part of this, they are abandoning the code of conduct of the military.
Oh yeah, they're so far past that. But it's not even like that for them. When they were deployed on lies, right? When they went to Iraq, Afghanistan, Africa, Southeast Asia, wherever, they were deployed on lies. They're servicing corporate interest, and they don't give a fuck. Excuse my language. They do not care, right? Because that was broken in them. That whole thing, they were lied to. The whole thing is a big lie. So once you lie to someone, and in a sense, they were human trafficked too, right? Because they were brought in on a lie, they signed their life away, and they could have died. And they survived, and now that they're home and the lie continues, why not them profit off it too? And that's why they don't care about you. They don't care if they torture you. They're mostly alcoholics. Some of them are meth addicts, some of them are fentanyl addicts, but they're mostly alcoholics. They do not care. Here locally, most of them are bikers. They're in outlaw biker gangs. They're anywhere between 23 to 60, 70 years old. The old timers are the worst, because when you get into this for a long time, then comes the pedophilia, then the sex trafficking of 12, 13, 14-year-old girls. They do that. The local bikers, the older ones, some of the younger ones do that too. All the other things, and then you're dealing with Freemasons, and that's the secret society part of that. It goes into it too.
So, Andrew, there were two other questions. I have one, and then we're going to end. And if, anybody wants to stay on and just chat, that could be possible. But I heard two other people with a question. I know Hi There said he had one more question, and there was another woman. And I just had one question just for the good of the whole group, because some people have V2K. And does any of this help anybody with V2K? And then I want to take the 2 questions from the other 2 people, and then we'll close out. And if anybody wants to stay and talk, they can. Go ahead.
Really quick. It does not stop the V2K. It diminishes the symptoms that make the V2K unbearable. The V2K is unbearable because you're being magnetized with all this stuff I was talking about before to such a degree that it physically hurts you, right? Like when they sync up the V2K to the pulsing shocks and whatnot, that's when it's really causing a big effect.
Okay, so it will help. Thank you. And hi there, you had a last question, and there's a young lady, a woman that had a question as well. Please, go ahead.
Well, actually asked a bunch of questions already, so I'd rather someone else get the chance to ask something, and then if no one is left, then I'll ask mine.
All right, thank you. There was a woman who had a question. Do you still have a question? Or did you forget your question? All right, so if not, go ahead.
Well,
Hi there.
I'll ask mine, which is pretty quick. For the red light lamp, does it matter what kind of wattage or any other parameter of the light bulb?
150 watt is the best.
And he said incandescent. First of all, we should not have any LED lights in our house. Okay, all lights or light bulbs should be incandescent. The whole LEDs like 5G, we went there to so that we can weaponize them. We didn't need anything different. The incandescent lights are fine.
No, is it 150 watts or higher? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you can get higher than that, but when you're dealing with higher than that, it's the heat that comes off it is substantial. So you'll find out. But don't get anything less than 150 watt.
Got it. Okay. Thank you, Andrew.
And also, you're welcome. Try to get it at the pet stores for reptiles, because when you get it, it sounds crazy, but this is life. Because red lights are such a powerful healing tool, the billionaires that run the world, that ruin everything, know this. And if you buy it, say at Home Depot or something, what they do is they coat a substance on the red light itself, that on the coating of the lamp, the bulb, and that produces a chemical odor that inflames you. So you will never notice that red lights are doing anything good. That's why, again, people would know these things if they used the reptile. You just use it one time, you're like, this feels amazing. But
it's beautiful. It makes you want to bask, like they say, that it's their basking light, and it really feels like you just want to, like you're basking in the sun. It's beautiful.
It's glorious. But you use the GE, the General Electric red light bulb, and you're going to go, why do I have a headache? Where did this headache come from? It's because they put chemicals on it to make sure that you don't feel good. Okay, last thing real quick. This is 8-gauge grounding wire. It came not insulated, and I wound this tight with a big drill. So, it's probably hard for some of you because you don't have big drills, probably all of you. I do, though. But either way, this right here, wearing this as a brace is fantastic. And you don't need to get as big a gauge as you get as big a gauge as you can, is what I was trying to say. And then make bracelets, make anklets, make necklaces, make circular things that go around your stomach, right, or whatever. Actually will help your stomach breathe too. That's why I wound these up. I just wound up like 15 feet of this, and I'm about to make a brace out of it. And I'm getting a lot of attention right now because of all this stuff that I've been broadcasting. Yeah.
Attention, right? Yeah. Attack.
Yeah, that's one way of saying it, right? Yeah.
Right.
Attack.
I get it.
Yeah.
But okay, everybody. So thank you once again for coming. I hope that you will please, if you didn't make it today, please make this fan, whether it's a ceiling fan, a box fan, because it will be very helpful to you. And Andrew, thank you so much for sharing the wealth of knowledge you have to help us, the rest of us, to get one step closer to freedom. And we can get free within this program. We can be, we can reduce the symptoms and the attacks and what they're doing to us. I always recommend that TIs live with another TI or and I know it's hard to do because the program will pit one against the other, but that you really should not leave your house unattended, because they will go in there. There's very few ways that you can, there's some, you have to be very diligent and very detail oriented to make sure that they aren't able to get in. Yeah, so that's all I have to say. Last parting words, and then we'll close out. It is 5:13, so we're pretty much on time.
No, just thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much, Andrew. You're a blessing.
This was great. And Goji, count, vote in for having more of these types of practical workshops. The more the better.
Thank you so much. It's been on my heart for a while. And once I met Andrew, I said, that's it. We're doing it. And I really wanted the stun gun, but, I have to be careful, and we all have to be careful. So we didn't do that one, but I'm happy with this, and we're going to keep moving forward. We have some more plans. So thank you, and thank you for being here, everybody.
Tweet, 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 tweet.